Sunday Gospel Connection.
Hey, we're listening to Zelda Robinson on the Gospel Connection. It's WEJM 950 AM 950.
Good evening, Chicago, and welcome to Sunday Gospel Connection on 950 AM WEJM. Zelda Robinson joining you in the 4 o'clock hour as we kick off this Sunday, the last Sunday of the year. It is 5:20 on the Gospel Connection, and we have a special guest in the house in celebration of Kwanzaa, in celebration of life, in celebration of ourselves. Now, you know January 1st is just around the corner. And how many times have we made promises to ourselves that there were situations or circumstances, or especially about our bodies in our lives, that we want to do something different with them? Well, you know, when you go to when you watch the athletes at the Olympics, you know they all had a coach, right? Well, sometimes in our lives, we need a personal coach. I know I need one. Well, for my body, I have a coach, and his name is Cornell McClellan of Naturally Fit, and he's going to share with us the importance of why it's important to be naturally fit, because I was very curious about this Fin program that I heard about. You know, we want to get it all off, and we want to get it off quick. So, Cornell, say hello to our audience today.
Hello. I like to say greetings and blessings from Naturally Fit, where fitness is natural, where the mind, body, and spirit connects.
And there has to be a connection, because if the mind is not in tune with the body, then there's a problem. Wouldn't you agree?
Certainly would agree.
And I really want to. I've never told you before, but I really appreciate to be able to sit here and sit in this chair and not have my parts of me hanging over the chair, and it's because that I made a conscious decision in my mind that I wanted to do something different with myself, and I wanted to feel better. And I think that's the most important thing. Diets don't give you that. They just drop the weight, but you still don't feel good about yourself, because you know eventually, as soon as you get off the diet, you're going to gain that weight back. And that's exactly what I did, time after time after time. Well, until I had the blessing of learning the hard way that I need to work out in order to be physically fit, mentally and spiritually, as well as physical, then that's when the change occurs. And I'd like for you to share with our listeners, how is it that Naturally Fit can help us do this in the upcoming new year, and not necessarily wait until the new year. I told someone that you were coming here today, and they already called in and said, sign me up. And you weren't even on the program yet. So just share with our listeners, if you would, please.
Well, the first thing I'd like to share is that there is a new health report from the Surgeon General that just came out in 1996, and its major conclusions were that people of all ages, both male and female, benefit from regular physical activity. Significant health benefits can be obtained by including a moderate amount of physical activity, and additional health benefits can be gained through greater amounts of physical activity. It has also been found that physical activity reduces the risk of premature mortality in general, and of coronary heart disease, hypertension, colon cancer, and diabetes. Physical activity also improves mental health and is important for the health of muscles, bones, and joints. And because of this, we at Naturally Fit thought it would be necessary to make lifestyle changes when we work with people. Mm-hmm. So we knew the only way to do that was to involve one's mind, one's body, and one's spirit, because we all know where help comes from. We know to look within for that. So what we've done is we put together a program with a team of people. We have 10 trainers there, and all of them are certified and experienced trainers. We also have a physician's board to help to give us some of the things that we ourselves cannot answer. Personal trainers are not allowed to diagnose or prescribe, so therefore we collaborated with some physicians to be able to bring this and to help people at the best that we could. Our team of staff of trainers are as follows: Cornell Walker, Emmanuel Shanklin, John Clark, Chris Isaacs, Jackie Simmons, Brett Appleman, John LaRue, and several other trainers. We also have on staff there Dr. Sandra Hickman, who is the doctor of nutrition. She's also a bariatrician, which is an obese specialist. Dr. Elton Tinsley, he has several specialties. Plastic surgery is one. Dr. Vieta Johnson, who is our orthopedic surgeon. and Dr. Garth Edwards, who is a doctor of chiropractic, and all of these people are the people who we go to when we need special help or you all need special help.
And so you go, this is not just what you say because of who you are, but you have facts and figures and professionals to back you with whatever it is that you say.
That's correct.
And I know from experience, eating is the greatest challenge, especially around the holidays. And it doesn't matter that you go to the club and work out if you don't eat right. And I speak from personal experience because there have been days when I left the club and I went and had ice cream Sunday. And I know you can tell because the next time I come back to the gym, I'm dragging. It's like, well, if I had eaten the right food to begin with, then I wouldn't have that problem when I get back to the gym. And I'm so glad to see that Dr. Hickman, you said, will be there. Now, she's an obese specialist, did you say?
Yes, she is.
And she's going to, it's different when you know what to do, you know what to eat, but you just don't do it, especially if you don't cook.
Well, one of the things that research has shown is that diets do not work.
Mm-hmm.
So it is only through lifestyle changes can one make changes. And what we try to stress is nutritional programs or nutritional information. What people have to do is they have to learn to be empowered. And through knowledge and information can they be empowered. And so from that, Dr. Hickman takes time to teach courses on nutrition, and the trainers sit down with individual clients and also follow that up in terms of writing up specific programs. And we all know that we have been eating the way that we eat for several years, and it's not something that's going to change overnight. So patience is a virtue in the personal training business. So what we do is we take time to do that. We don't expect one to make changes overnight, but we feel with the information, and once they can claim this for themselves and they can claim a program for themselves, then we've seen a lot of changes take place. So what we do, we first educate people in terms of how to eat, especially natural foods, trying to stay away from foods that are canned, foods that are filled with a lot of chemicals and things of that nature. We stay mostly with fresh or frozen foods, and whole foods are what are important as opposed to a lot of refined or chemically laden food. So whole foods is kind of the key in terms of eating small meals 6 times a day, and being very, very active. When you combine these things together with some aerobic activity, you will then have yourself a program that will give you some benefits.
And I can certainly attest to that. It really makes me feel good, and my family and the people who know me, who know that through this process, when I first came in to see you, that we had a consultation. It's not like, well, I'm just going to work you to death and eventually the pounds will come off and the weight will come off. It wasn't like that. What I really appreciate was that you took the time to sit down and talk to me and explain to me and ask me what were my goals, and if I didn't have any, to help me achieve those goals. Well, luckily I had some. All you did was enhance that. And I think it's important that our listeners know that in order to do anything, there has to be a conscious decision. I mean, and a commitment on top of that, because, how many resolutions do we start January 1st and end January 1st? So I really appreciate your coming out to take the time to talk to us about this. And we're going to come back in a few minutes, and you're going to tell us some more things that we need to know, right?
That's right.
Okay. And it's 5:27 on the Gospel Connection. You're listening to Zelda Robinson and Cornell McClellan from Naturally Fit at
310 South Racine
in Chicago. And in case you want to call him there, the phone number is area code
312-226-3232.
And if you have any questions while he's still here, you can call him here at the station. The new area code is 630, right, 630-895-1400. That's 630-895-1400. I really appreciate you coming out, but we got to play just a little bit more gospel music. And what other better record to play, the one that I hated to do the step-ups on the other day, than from the Preacher's Wife, Step by Step, on 950 AM WEJM. Well, there's a bridge, and there's a river. And from the movie soundtrack, The Preacher's Wife, you got to go see it. There's some powerful messages there. Step by Step, my favorite workout record. Thanks to Cornell. I say that. Lord knows I am so glad that I have been blessed with the opportunity to know that I am not going to get physically fit. I am not going to lose weight by doing all the things that I used to do. You know, I'm better at it, but I'm not at my best, because we can always be better. Wouldn't you agree? So what I'd like for you to tell our listeners, Cornell, is what to expect. What when they show up. You know, the first thing that I like about this place, it's not the why. That's why I left the why, because it was too, the she poo and all the little skinny women running around there. And I ain't got nothing against skinny women. I was once one myself, but I'm not now. But anyway, it's a private club. You have your own personal trainer. And I just want our listeners to know some of the things. What do they need to know to come to this facility and work out?
Well, again, the first thing they need to know is that we're located on the corner of Jackson and Racine. That's 310 South Racine at the top of the Helix building. There's ample parking there, so you don't have to worry. It's now considered the West Loop. We have a lot of parking there for you. We're on the 8th floor there. One of the things that we decided to do when we put this facility together is to have an intimate and personal surroundings, so people could get their personal attention. Not only do you have a personal trainer, but it is like your personal facility. We offer aerobics, martial arts such as Tai Chi, Taekwondo, yoga, Kung Fu. We also have massage therapists. We have Boris Galimbo on staff, Cindy Dubois, and we also do some customized programs. What I found a lot of times when I'm training women, the first thing they say to me is that we do not want a lot of muscles.
I know that's right.
Well, what we have done is that we have some trainers who are at our facility who are certified in what's called freestyle. And freestyle are programs that are customized for women. These particular programs are designed different than you would work a man out. A man generally trains his upper body on a 5-to-1 ratio to his lower body. So what freestyle has done is reverse the trend. And what this allows for women is to get a higher rate of calorie burning. And one of the things that we want to do in terms of trying to deal with weight management and lose weight is to burn a lot of calories. So what we do is we continue to train the entire body, but the ratio has changed, and we train the lower body to a 5-to-1 ratio, meaning that we put emphasis on the glutes, the thighs, the hips, the calves, the lower abdomen, and we use the large muscle groups. The larger a muscle is that is being worked, or the largest amount of muscles to be worked, burns or gives you the most calorie burning.
You know, I always wonder why. I said, now, why is there so much emphasis on hips? And it's really common sense. I should have known, because that is the part of the body in which most women complain about, myself included. But that was something else that I really enjoyed, the fact that by this being a private club, and it's not like some other clubs that I won't mention that I've been to, where when you walk in and you really don't feel good about where you are in your life and how your body looks, and you have that one-on-one, and that trainer makes you feel good about yourself right where you are. And that is so important, because we walk around every day not feeling good about ourselves, not feeling good, period. It means a lot to be able to walk up and down the stairs without losing your breath. And I know I couldn't do that when I first started. And it's like now, well, I can run up and down the stairs. I don't make a habit of it, but at least I know I can do that. To be able to walk up a flight of stairs and not have to sit down and rest for 15 minutes, it really makes a difference in your life and how you feel in your life. And I think that needs to be stressed. Not only the results of your losing weight and slimming down and be able to put on a couple of size dresses smaller. Myself went from a size 26 to a size 16, and I'm trying to get just maybe one size smaller. It really feels good to just be able to do something you haven't done in a long time, but not only to look good, but to feel good. And how many people do we know that are walking around that don't feel good? I'd like you to expound on that.
Well, that's exactly how we feel at Naturally Fit. One of our major components is trying to support people in feeling better about themselves in terms of working out. One of the most important things that we always talk about is that the main reason to work out is to feel good and to be healthy. healthy and fit is very important. That's where the name Naturally Fit came from, is that we want people to understand that to be fit is a natural occurrence. We don't want you to think of it as something that's abnormal. The only people who can be fit are the guys who run the Olympics or the ladies that run in the Olympics. But we all should be fit. I mean, by the grace of God, we have been given the ability to do that. And so one of the things we try to do is to stress that. And I think by having the support of a trainer, having someone that you can talk to, someone that will encourage you, someone that will make sure that you train safely and that you will get the most out of a workout, the most economical benefits, meaning that sometimes you can train for years not knowing what you're doing and not get a lot of results. But when you have somebody who can be there and who can work with you every step of the way, you will generally get results a lot faster, as well as you will become educated in terms of what you need to do to continue this for the rest of your life.
Yeah, you know, you find out things about your body. You find out things that you can do that you had no idea that you can do them because you really push us, Cornell. You know that. But I appreciate that. I complain all the time that I'm there, but I really do appreciate that. I noticed the difference from when I was just going to a regular gym, the type of movement that I was using on a particular machine. It's like, no wonder I was getting no results. I wasn't doing it right, but I didn't have anyone to tell me that. No one to stand there by that machine and tell me, no, that's not the way to do it. This is the proper way to do it, and yes, you can do 5 more. Your famous words. 5 more. I say, I think that's what he came out saying, 5 more, 3 more, something like that. But what are some of the other added features that our listeners would be able to participate in once they did come? Oh, and something else that was very important too. A lot of times people are afraid to work out alone. I have a workout partner. Her name is Linda Shepard, and I had been going for a while without a partner, and it just, you know, sometimes we need somebody in our lives. Get up, girl. You know we got to go exercise. Well, I don't feel like it. Well, you're going to go anyway because this is a commitment that we made to each other. So it really helps if you have a workout partner. I can really believe that. I know that.
Well, one of the things that we try to do is we try to accommodate people in whatever way that we can. Our facility opens at 5 a.m. and it closes at 9 p.m. We have a complete locker room and showers. So for people who need to come before work, lunchtime, or after work, and you're going out somewhere or whatever your need might be, we have a towel service there that we provide for you. So we try to make it totally comfortable for you. As Zelda said, she now has a workout partner. Generally, we train people one-on-one, but sometimes we train people one-on-two. We train husband and wives teams. We train just friends. Whoever needs to be trained, what we try to do is try to somehow make it possible that people can make changes in their life, and we want to be supportive in that realm. So what we have done at the club is we try to do exactly what personal training is supposed to do, and that is to customize a program for you and for your lifestyle. So there are no rules written in stone other than you must move to be successful.
And move, we do just that. You know, this has been an experience that has made me learn that things that I thought that I couldn't do, I can do, because first of all, I said there was no way in the world I was going to get up out of my bed. I get up at 7, but to be at the gym at 7, not to say that that's what someone else has to do, but that's what works for me, because I know as the day goes on, I will find an excuse. And that's another thing I appreciate about having a personal trainer is that you, what's the word, pump us up?
Motivate.
Motivate us, yes. How could I forget that word? You motivate us to do things, you know, just to do that extra 5 reps when we really don't want to, and when you're through, you feel so good. You know, you did something for yourself, and it's a part of who you are, because as God in us, God moves and thinks and has His being in, through, and around us, and it's godlike for us to be healthy and to be happy and to be physically fit. We don't have to walk around with all the diseases and disasters and the complications and the challenges that we have. We don't have to have that in our physical bodies as well as in our mind. And once we make the decision to do something about the quality of life that we want to live, it really makes a difference. And that's why I really appreciate having this opportunity and to have you in my life. I really do.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. I am honored to be your trainer, your friend, and just to have you in my life.
Well, thank you so much. If you just joined us, you're listening to Cornell McClellan of Naturally Fit on the Sunday Gospel Connection, 9:50 a.m. And in order to get your year off on the right foot, this is what I always say. I don't start January 1st. I start December, whatever day it is, start right here and right now, because I know I've been a little lazy, a little lackadaisical. You know, a couple of days go by and I really don't want to go to the gym. But when those words come to me that say, no, I don't want to do this, I just say, cancel, look, just go ahead and do it. Call Cornell and say, yeah, you're on the way. So if you really want to see your life change in 97, make the decision now to do something to better your life. And you can only do that by making a conscious decision and say, yes, I'm going to do it right now. And if someone wants to contact you, where can they call you, Cornell?
They can call me at Naturally Fit at 312-226-3232.
And just a little words, a few words of inspiration that you would like to leave our listeners with today? Would you like to tell them something special? You know what? You had a poem, too. Can you do that poem for us? Because all the sisters that I know, a great majority of the sisters we have hips and we have thighs, and we're always trying to get rid of them. Ask Oprah. So I want you to read this poem that you have for us. Would you do us that honor?
Well, Donna asked me about reading this poem, and I was a little in the world of personal training and talking to a lot of women, and black women in particular, about getting fit and being healthy. One of the biggest things that I hear, or the biggest complaints that I hear, are sisters talking about the way they're shaped, the way their legs are, the way their hips are. And one of the things that I believe in is to first, we must embrace ourselves. We must love ourselves. And certainly we must love what God has blessed us with. And it motivated me to write some things down in celebration of the beauty of black women. And I've titled this poem, Old Sisters Are Fine. And that is in the vernacular of us growing up in the hood, as they would say, is a positive way of saying that black women are beautiful. And it starts like this. Old sisters are fine, but somehow they didn't know this all the time. This was wrong, that was wrong. My lips are too big and my thighs too strong. Big curving hips and a behind large and round, and somehow with all of this and still not proud. Legs all sizes and shapes that carried all this beauty perfectly in place. I wonder when this shame began. Could it have been when the white man invaded our land? Or was it when you were stole from home and subtracting beauty gave them license to be with you alone? Or was it that you were told that beauty was none that you behold? Oh, sisters are fine. Through all of this, some sisters knew that beauty was astound. And now for all the world to see, a beauty truly profound. Sisters prevailed a world of false prophecies to triumph to a time where their beauty denotes all that's truly divine. Sisters still come in all shapes and sizes, shades and complexions, and no longer adheres to such ridiculous misdirections. They walk around as they did on land of old, as queens of the now, beautiful, strong, and bold. And how lucky I must be to be the son of a sister girl, because sisters truly behold the eighth wonders of the world. Oh, sisters are fine.
All right. I just love it. I don't believe it. I finally got him on here to do it. Praise God. See, God works in wonderful and mysterious ways. The timing just wasn't right, but it's right now, and that was most appropriate to have you come in and do that poem. So thank you very much, and I'm sure our listeners appreciate that, don't you, girl? I know you did. It's 6 o'clock on the Gospel Connection. You're listening to 950 AM WEJM, where we play the latest and, yes, the greatest in Sunday gospel all day long. So be sure and start your new year off with and call Cornell McClellan at Naturally Fit at area code 312.
226-3232. And thank you.
9:50 a.m. WEJM Chicago. Your Sunday Gospel Connection.
Hey, we're listening to Zelda Robinson on the Gospel Connection. It's WEJM 9:50 a.m. 9:50.
Good evening and welcome to Sunday Gospel. Zelda Robinson joining you in the 6 o'clock hour as we kick off this hour with Shirley Caesar, Marvin Sapp, and LaShawn Pace. Here's Byron Cage and Purpose on 950 AM WEJM. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hallelujah. Happy Kwanzaa.
Come on, y'all, put your hands together tonight. We're here to glorify the Lord. We're here to give him all the praise. He's worthy of it tonight. Have you ever called it and looked like he wasn't coming? You paid your tithes. You did everything that was right. But yet looked like you stayed sick all the time. Well, I come tonight to tell you he will come. Look at somebody, tell him he will come. You've been calling on the Lord. Come on. You've been saying, yes. See what the devil has done. Somebody's home, and he's left them all alone. And I'm falling on you. Please don't. He's a God. healing is on the way, and he'll come.
WEJM, 9:50 a.m. The Gospel Connection.
Merry Christmas from Phase 2.
Where we play the latest and, yes, the greatest in Sunday gospel all day long. Don't you just love good gospel music like that? Marvin Sapp from the request line with Hero. That's for Brenda Jones on South Cottage. And from the request line, that's for Elizabeth Shirley Caesar. He will come. Oh, yes, he will. All you have to do is call. May not come when you want him, but it's always right on time. Weather for the station that plays the latest and, yes, the greatest in Sunday gospel. Cloudy and foggy. And tonight, down into the 20s. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and warmer, back up into the 40s. Right now at Naturally Fit, where fitness is natural, it's 28 degrees. At Cornerstone Baptist Church, it's 27. And on your radio, Zelda Robinson with another glorious 40 minutes of good gospel music as we continue. The request lines are open at 708-895-1400. That's 708-895-1400. If there's a message you need to hear, something in your heart, we're waiting to play it just for you. Would like to say hello to Deborah Wright and on the south side, and also to Pee Wee Nixon on the west side, 9:50 a.m. WEJM, where we play the latest and, yes, the greatest in Sunday gospel all day long. Salt of the Earth. Before that, Order of My Steps, that's for Chinta Strasberg of the Chicago Defender and the Reverend Harold E. Bailey of Probation Challenge, and the Commodores at the top with Jesus is Love from the request line for Mr. Thomas Alsop from Glenwood, Illinois. It's 6:38 on the Gospel Connection. More great gospel headed your way as we continue with more great music from The Preacher's Wife, the original soundtrack. We know that there is God, there is goodness within you. But before we let you hear that, we'd like to let you hear the remainder of the message from the Reverend Michael Kelly from Alexandria, Virginia, who spoke at Christ Universal Temple this morning with a message for the new year on 9:50 a.m. WEJM.
And so let's get into this message for the new year. That will be a wake-up call with specific instructions and marching orders that will guarantee us, I'll say that again, guarantee us the victory in the new year. So that this new year will not be just another year, but it will be the best year that you've experienced thus far in your life. And that it will be the best year that this house of God has experienced in the best years of its life. In the book of Romans, chapter 12, verse 2, it says, "Be not conformed to this world." Stop right there. Because you see, Christ Universal, if you want to know why many people are having their joy stolen away from them, it is because they have conformed to the ways of the world. To conform means to make like, to comply, to submit to be in agreement with, one who complies with the custom. And so I say to you, be careful what you're being made like. Be careful what you are complying with. Be careful what you are in agreement with, what you are submitting to, and the customs that you are practicing. Jesus said, "Judge not according to the appearance." But what is it that most folks do? Most people are judging every aspect of their life based on their present conditions and circumstances. That's conforming to the ways of the world. Jesus said, "Take no thought for your life, what you shall eat and what you shall drink and what you shall put on." He said, "These are the things that the nations of the world worry about." But what do? Oftentimes, we not only worry about what we shall eat and drink and put on, but we worry about every aspect of our lives. That's conforming to the ways of the world. The scriptures teach us that the Father knoweth what things we have need of even before we ask, and that it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom.
9:50 a.m. WEJM, Chicago.
Hey, we're listening to Zelda Robinson on the Gospel Connection. It's WEJM, 9:50 a.m., 9:50.
Good evening and welcome to Sunday Gospel. Zelda Robinson joining you in the 6 o'clock hour. Are you having a good time? Praise God. Woo! God good, ain't he? Got some more great gospel headed your way from the Sounds of Blackness, Walt Whitman and the Soul Children. Yes, and from the request line, from the soundtrack Waiting to Exhale, Whitney Houston and CeCe Winans. Here's the Clark Sisters, 9:50 a.m.